For some reason, I'm feeling very strongly the need to express certain circumstances that I went through. Alcoholism was very much a part of my family. And it reached a point where I knew that there were parts of me that were not there were things inside me that were hidden, wouldn't reveal themselves. But I knew if I had a drink, I could sit there. I was very isolated, and I could write it out, those parts of me. And then I could wake up in the morning and go, oh, that's what's coming out of me. At the time, I had no idea what to do with it, except for law of attraction, think better thoughts, and I was able to start to draw those perspectives into expression, into the light of my awareness. And different teachings, whatever arises, love that. That was Matt Kahn. He had a book about that, and his ministry has changed since then, so it's not something that I follow. But that one teaching, whatever arises, love that. Reach for the better feeling thought. I couldn't say, I had the soundtrack in the back of my mind, you're ugly, you're greasy, you're nasty, blah, 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 blah. My mother's voice. And you're fat. Why can't you eat like your friend Carrie? She eats like a bird. She's also psychotic, Mom. But I was able to draw those things out. And then my life still wasn't getting better. And off into the wilderness, end up in this place. COVID hits, I'm isolated in this place. And I didn't like my sober self because I would judge things and people. Oh, I can't work with them. They're drug dealers. They steal things from people. I gotta avoid them. I gotta, this person doing that, that's bad. I would drink. Everybody deserves love. I don't care what anybody's doing. Just good time. Who can I have a good, happy time with? Enjoy life. The blessings of life. I mean, we're all closed up. We're all like in an isolated community where people come and they dump their trash and windstorms. Somebody calls it trash transference day. It all just blows across and you end up cleaning trash out of your yard that's blew in from where the townies dumped it out back. And we're living off of the scraps of humanity in basically the dump on toxic land that is not legally inhabitable for people because of its toxicity until like 2035. And we've got a military base with bombs going off. I mean, after a couple of years, I woke up one morning, it sounded like a truck had hit my trailer, and I come out, I'm like, what the? And then I see this mushroom cloud up on the range. I'm like, oh, that cannot be good. And they're flying their helicopter drills over us. So we are the most undesirable, the most disposable people in the world to them, in our country. They're doing, experimenting on us out there. So, it was said, okay, it's the hottest inhabited desert on Earth, because we're inhabiting it. And trained athletes can't even survive the temperatures and conditions out there. So we'd have people like, oh yeah, I was over in Iraq, I was in Desert Storm, I can handle the desert, and it hits 90 degrees and they're on the couch with cold compresses like, I can't handle this, it's too hot. And we're looking, we don't say hot, it's not hot yet. This is just getting warm. This is warm. You ain't seen hot yet. And we don't talk about the heat. It's what you just don't talk about it. Because then you focus on it and it aggravates you. It just gets worse. So it was just, I didn't like my sober self. And so the point is, there are lost sheep. And people think, oh, you're using that because you're addicted. You're using that because you're weak. This is really passionately coming at me. Because it's a new perspective of myself that I've never been exposed to before. Maybe they're doing it because they're that strong. Because you were taught, if your hand is causing you to sin, cut off that hand. If your eye is causing you to sin, poke it out. What if your soul, your conscious, conditioned mind is what's causing you to sin? And so you're cutting it off just so you can show that love and that compassionate understanding to people other people would have the most difficult time doing that for. To treat people with respect who other people don't think are worthy of respect. To feed those other people think don't deserve food. What's that saying coming from the elite? The useless bottom feeders. They're the useless bottom feeders. They're feeding off the bottom of mankind, the bottom of the barrel. So, got introduced to another perspective of myself, sharing it with you who may be condemning themselves, maybe condemning somebody else for being weak. Maybe it's their strength that put them there. Thank you. And this came because I was reflecting on people that I'm going to be spending some time interacting with, and they're just very guarded people. And I always dread, I always hate, because I think they're so mean, they're going to be so judgmental, they're just not going to like me, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to look, small, irresponsible, not good enough for them. No, I keep getting reminded. These are the kind of people that have something to protect. And that something is that generous heart. It is that person, that soul, that is going to take a homeless person into their home. They are going to want somebody who will love and support their community, and they can love and support and have the reward of that trustworthiness, that respect, that integrity that comes with it. We were, somebody was selling a trailer, and she was showing it to somebody who had scraped up all their, savings to be able to do this, get themselves a home. And she's showing this trailer. And while she's doing this, younger couple comes, they're flippers. They can't live in this trailer park because it's for older people, over 55, over 50, no children allowed. And this is a young couple, and they're purchasing the trailers in order to flip them. And they came looking, they wanted to offer her that money, cash right there and then, before she agreed to sell it to the person she was showing it to who needed a home. That is just so unrighteous on a level that your old time country folk do not want around. But they won't say it, because everybody has a right to make a living. Everybody has a right to sell their belongings to whom they want to. If they need more money quicker, and that's what they decide to take, then that has to be allowed. But inside you're going, that's some bad juju coming through. So there's all kinds of stuff going on with me right now. And everything isn't necessarily what it looks like. That stern face, I've been told I have resting bitch face. So when I was homeless in California, this woman, she comes to me, she says, yeah, I did a talk about the homeless at the local college, and I mentioned you, she said, because you've got, I told them, you've got a face of steel, a face of stone, but a heart of gold. Like, really? I don't see that people see my heart of gold. I think they're seeing a loser. You know what I mean? I had one man, though, come up to me, and I wasn't begging. I just had my kids in the bike stroller, and I was getting all the bottles out of the trash cans, because the young men, they'd go around at night and they'd get all the aluminum. It's worth more and it's lighter weight. I couldn't do that. I had children that had to be tucked in at night and looked after and protected. They needed to be present. So I would be stuck with the heavy glass bottles and had a dog carrier that I strapped to the back of the bike cart, and I'd fill that up and I'd take it to a little trailer where they weigh everything and they'd give you the money. And there was like a day shelter where you could use the microwave and stuff to cook, and there'd be muffins that you'd have to weed through, get the ones without mold on them, and I would have to go elbow to elbow with these rough, gruff old men, dirty old men, just to get this food for my kids. Well, once I learned the bottles and where to return them, I was coming in there like, I don't have to go elbow to elbow with you no more. I'm cooking bacon in this microwave. But this guy approached me. He says, I don't want to offend you, but I was wondering if I could give you some money because I see how hard you work. And I had another woman, and she was well dressed. It was a very wealthy town. It was the elite from all over the world would send their kids to college there. And she came to me and she says, I see you every day, she says, and you look happy. I have a huge house, I have a car, I have everything I want, but I worry every day. I'm so afraid something is going to go wrong, that I'm not going to be able to afford it and stuff like that. She's like, how are you happy every day? I just looked at her like, I got no man beating on me today, trying to manipulate me, steal everything from me. I'm living peaceful and free. I was some abandoned railroad tracks on the side of a field, and we were nice and cozy, kind of hidden down there, and you'd come up into the field, and in the morning, just before the kids woke, and I look across the field, and it was just traffic at a creep, coming to a stop, then creeping along, bumper to bumper. And I'm just looking at him like, I'm so glad I'm not a part of that. I'd go into town, get what we need, then get out of it. So, not everybody is what we're conditioned to believe about them. And it's really cool that when people do see it, because they mirror it, they show it back to us, what we may not see in ourselves. Because where I think I must be a loser because I must enter a crowd understanding that in other people's eyes I'm a loser. But that's not so. I could walk into a crowd and there can be people that see me as a precious treasure of something of great value. And I hope that this can be as much a gift for somebody else as it is for me. That's pretty cool. Appreciation.